Hey everyone, and welcome back. Buckle up, because today we're diving deep, really deep, into a place where time itself is, well, a bit of a puzzle.
A puzzle is putting it lightly,
Yeah, that's probably an understatement, right?
for sure.
So we're talking about Chronos 7, a planet that bends the rules of time as we know them.
Oh, absolutely.
And to guide us through this temporal labyrinth, we've got this amazing story of Kalen Veer. Now, Kalen's this young historian, and they risk everything, I mean everything, to try and unlock the secrets of Chronos 7.
Talk about dedication. Kaylin's story is a perfect example of just how different, how truly unique Chronos 7 is. Time on this planet doesn't behave like it does here on Earth. No nice and neat 24-hour days. Forget about your trusty 60-minute hours.
So no more complaining about Mondays then.
Not exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of this constant, predictable flow we're used to, time on Chronos 7 is fractured, it's inconsistent, and it's constantly shifting. You can never really get a handle on it.
Okay, I'm already feeling a little disoriented just thinking about it.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
Can you even imagine trying to live on a planet where time is so chaotic? What would that even feel like?
Just try to picture a world where every hour is kind of like breathing. It stretches or shrinks unpredictably. They still have a 7-hour day on Chronos 7, but the catch is each hour could last anywhere between, say, 30 to 90 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's wild. And the crazy thing is, the inhabitants, the Chronites, they've adapted to this. I mean, they function in ways we can barely comprehend.
So basically they've tossed out our earthly calendars and day planners, haven't they?
Pretty much.
I mean, here we are, completely reliant on our schedules, deadlines, yeah, the drill.
Right, our whole lives revolve around time.
Exactly. So how do the Chronites do it? Do they even need schedules?
Oh, they do. It's just that they've had to completely rethink their approach to time. You see, they don't perceive it as this rigid, linear progression like we do. For them, the past, the present, and the future, they're all intertwined, almost like they're happening simultaneously.
Hold on, that's a massive, I mean, a truly massive conceptual leap from how we think. What could possibly lead them to view time in such a radically different way?
It all comes down to this fascinating invention of theirs, the counterclock.
The counterclock. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So imagine a clock where instead of moving forward, the hour hand actually moves backward.
Backward. That's so counterintuitive.
Exactly, and that's precisely the point. The counterclock reflects their cyclical perception of time. It's a constant reminder that time, for them, isn't a straight line. It's a wheel, always turning.
Wow. That's more than just a different way of telling time. It's like a completely different understanding of reality itself.
Absolutely. It's like they're constantly looking back to inform their present and their future. It might seem counterintuitive to us, but for the Cronites, the counterclock is a source of stability in their ever-changing world. It's their anchor in the chaos.
So how does this all actually play out? I mean, what does a typical day look like on Chronos 7 with this crazy time system and this backward clock?
Well, let's take a couple of their hours as examples. You have Orion, the first hour. It's known as the golden hour. It lasts for just 45 minutes, but it's when life awakens on Chronos 7. A burst of energy, activity, think of it as their equivalent of, our Monday morning rush, but supercharged.
Got it. Short and intense.
Yeah. Then you have Rylith, the second hour. Now, this one stretches on for a seemingly endless 80 minutes.
Oh, a big difference.
It's described as this ethereal, almost dreamlike period. Think of it like stepping into a slow-motion world.
So do they, like, meditate during Rylith or something? What do they do with all that time?
It's the perfect time for contemplation, for reflection, or anything that requires deep focus without feeling the pressure of a ticking clock.
I can definitely see how that would be valuable in a world where time is so fluid. I mean, imagine trying to meet a deadline when you don't even know how long an hour will last. Talk about stressful. But we know that there's much more to Chronos 7 than just a strange clock and some shifting hours, right?
Yeah.
What was it about Chronos 7 that truly captivated Kalen Veer?
Well, Kalen was utterly obsessed with two big enigmas. Aurith, which is the planet's unusual sun, and of course the origins of the counterclock. They were convinced that these two things held the key to understanding not just how time flowed on Chronos 7, but the very nature of time itself. It was this quest that led them to the most dangerous aspect of Chronos 7, the temporal veils.
Okay, now the temporal veils, those sound like something straight out of science fiction. We've got to hear more about these pockets where time, as we understand it, completely breaks down.
So imagine pockets of space where time is warped, twisted, contorted. Some theorize it's due to Aurith, the sun, and its unusual energy emissions. Research suggests that these emissions create these localized distortions in the space-time continuum. Step into a temporal veil, and you could emerge just seconds later, or you could reappear years later.
They're kidding.
Nope. The temporal veils are a chilling reminder that time, as we know it, as we rely on it, is fragile. It can be disrupted.
Yikes. I was going to say, that sounds kind of cool, but now I'm thinking maybe not. Talk about a risky commute. I can totally see why these would fascinate a historian like Halen Veer, though. Wasn't it this obsession with the veils that ultimately led to their, disappearance?
You got it. Kalin believed that by studying the temporal veils, they could unlock the secrets of time itself. And they dove headfirst into their research, ultimately becoming what the Cronites call a timeless.
A timeless. Okay, what does that even mean? Are we talking immortal, unstuck in time? Fill us in.
A timeless is someone who has entered a temporal veil and emerged, well, different. No longer bound by the fractured time of Chrono 7, they exist outside of it in a state that's, well, nearly impossible for us to grasp.
So they're like temporal anomalies wandering through time.
Something like that. But before they vanished, Kalin left behind this very cryptic message. It simply said, "Time bends for those who dare to understand it."
Oh, wow. Chills. Literal chills. That statement, it's both intriguing and a little, unsettling, isn't it? Makes you wonder what Kalen discovered, right?
For sure.
It makes me wonder, if you could manipulate time, what would you do with that power?
That is a question that forces us to really think about our own relationship with time, how we view it, how we use it. We see it as linear, absolute, but on Chrono 7, they've shown us that it can be fluid, subjective. Kalen's journey, it challenges us to rethink everything we think we know about time. It's not just about minutes and hours, it's about perception, it's about experience.
This whole deep dive, it's been an incredible journey. From
Yeah.
the backward ticking of the counterclock to the mind-bending temporal veils, Chrono 7 has shown us that the universe is teeming with possibilities beyond our wildest imaginations.
Absolutely. And Kalen Veer's story, it's a powerful reminder that some mysteries, they're worth risking everything to explore.
Well, on that note, we're out of time for today, but don't worry, we'll be back soon for another deep dive into a fascinating corner of, reality, or maybe unreality. Until then, keep exploring and keep those questions coming.